G Show Land. It is I, G73, your host, and wow, has it been kind of a slow month. It's been kind of not too much has happened, but in a way, a lot has happened. As you know, this is the Godzilla Block Party, and I am joined today with none other than G1.
Hello.
Followed by G1, we have the one and only Anthony, the ghost of GVA.
Good fucking morning.
And also, last but definitely not the least, depending how he feels, I guess, we have JR joining us today.
Don't tell me how I feel.
Yeah. Well, we know sometimes you feel kind of small inside, and you ask us to send you e-hugs over the internet. So
he's small on the outside too.
See how it is.
It's just the area he lives in is really cold all year round.
Fuck that, dude. It was like 100 degrees all fucking summer. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, but dude, you just blew your cover. We're trying to help you out.
I don't need to say nothing about how I'm hung.
All right, moving on. All right, so Godzilla has kind of had some dry news this month. Not too much has happened. We've had a little bit stuff here and there. The first place where I'm going to start actually is just the little bit of tidbits of merchandise that have been coming out that people are kind of excited for. The one thing I want to talk about that has been out, I don't know if many people have seen it, but the Godzilla humidifier that is out. That's kind of one of the hottest things right now going around. You can pick it up for $70.
Hey. If it's a humidifier, it's the coolest thing around.
Well, dude, it lights up, and the atomic, like the vapors are blue. There's like lit up by a blue light, of course, and it like. Have you guys like seen this, or have I be the only one that's seen this?
No, I've seen it.
Yeah?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
No.
I thought it was pretty cool.
I mean, as the other thing on top of that, I mean, the merchandise segment's kind of like just bunched together, but on top of that, that was just one of the things I want to throw out. We can't really talk about a device that shoots out air for 10, 20 minutes, but NECA came out and have said they are going on their new wave of making new Godzilla figures, and they're talking about they're having a new 2014 figure coming out that apparently is supposed to be bigger than the 24-inch figure that they have.
The Jack Pacific?
No, that's Jack's Pacific. This is NECA. So NECA has a figure that's a 12-inch and then a 24-inch or something like that. I have it. I'm looking at it. I would measure it if I had the time. But it's basically the size of an X Plus figure, but it's NECA, and it roars.
Nice.
But they're saying they have a new one coming out for they have some coming out in a couple of months, and then they have for Godzilla 2 coming out some new figures. So that just excites me. It just brought to my attention, are there like any figures you guys would love to see NECA do? They seem to be doing a lot of Godzilla figures lately, and a lot of Predator figures coming out too. Yeah, especially with the Predator coming out, we're going to be seeing something of the other Predators coming out soon. But, I'm just going to go down the row. Ray, G1, is there any, certain Godzilla figure you would love to see NECA try and sculpt?
All of them, really. More probably the original Mecha Godzilla figure. I would like a Godzilla version.
Here.
You know it. Even a Megalon figure, to be honest with you, I would like one of those. I like the old school Showa Godzilla. The head side look is pretty much standard throughout the series. I mean, Biollante and Mecha Godzilla suit, those were like probably the outside of Destroyer, but those were probably like the two most noticeable with differences. And then it was like kind of standard once Mothra started. So those, even though I love those suits, I like the flavor of the original Showa stuff because they're different looks in each one.
Yeah, it seems like there's not too much of Showa stuff like that. Anything NECA you've seen, it's been completely just either Heisei or pretty much Heisei. There hasn't, or Legendary. There hasn't been much Showa really in NECA. JR, is there any like certain figure I know you're a figure buff. I know you get a lot of Godzilla figures and stuff. Is there something in particular you would love to see done?
Yeah, I've been asking for it for fucking ever. 2004 Final Wars Godzilla sculpt, and no one's doing it except X Plus, so I have to get it from fucking X Plus, and I got to spend that 160.
Bandai.
160 on X Plus, then
Bandai, I have it.
Spend it. Yeah, I've got that one, but I'd really like to see NECA take a shot at that because I'm done with SH Monster Arts. Their prices are fucking X Plus prices right now for shit quality. I'm done. I'm going to stick with NECA. Hopefully NECA gets licensing to Rodan, Ghidra, and Mothra so they can pump out those figures, which I'm sure they do have the licensing because Legendary and NECA have the licensing, and so it's Legendary sharing licensing, a whole bunch of bullshit, but 2004 Godzilla would be top-notch.
Yeah. Now, what about you, Anthony? Is there a certain figure, or are you just pretty much agreeing with what Ray said?
Oh, yeah, 100% with what Ray said, 110% actually. I'm a huge Showa buff myself. And plus, even outside of that, I'd like to see a little less repaints and a little more like actual, just do another Godzilla. You know what I mean? Just like rather than just repainting one fucking figure, just give us a whole new suit. The 74 suit's my favorite as far as Showa goes. And I haven't seen too many doing that, and there's like one or two that are like super expensive, and then outside of that, there's nothing.
I agree with you. Stop repainting the suits. I absolutely agree with that.
And that's one of the things that I also have like an issue with SH Monster Arts. They just seem like they do tons of repaints. I mean, how many countless repaints of Godzilla 94 do we have, or different versions of that do we have? I think the only Godzilla design that SH Monster did that I was really excited for was probably 89, and that's still the one that I want to get, but that's one that I would like to see NECA try to do. And even Godzilla 2000, I would love a Godzilla 2000 figure. I don't have a problem with Bandai, but Bandai is just not my taste. I would rather have something that's kind of worth more than what I get. My 2014 figures that I have are from NECA, and those figures themselves, like, they're great. I love the way that I feel like I paid $40 worth for what I got. But on top of that, 89, 91, I would love to get figures of that. I would also like to see, I would like to see...
Hi, Thomas. Hi, Thomas.
We're having a Godzilla podcast, and you introduce your cat.
He was jealous. He just wanted a little attention.
He wanted attention. But that's kind of where I stand on it. I would love, because I'm really interested in the Pacific Rim figures that NECA's done. That NECA's done some really good Pacific Rim figures, and so I'm interested to see, once Godzilla's 2 merchandise embargo lifts, what stuff we're going to be getting. I mean, just, they already showed some teases of what Jurassic World 2's merchandise is going to be, and I'm really excited for the Jurassic World 2 chicken nuggets. But I'm interested to see, what stuff they're going to be doing with Godzilla 2 when the embargo lifts. I hope it's a lot more versatile than 2014, because that marketing the merchandise for it was a little bit slim, which I kind of feel like they did that just to be on the safe side. And the same for Jurassic World 2. That merchandise is a little bit slim as well. But so I'm interested to see what they take a step up with. But basically, wrapping up all of the merchandise news, the biggest thing was that on October 30th in Shinjuku, they will be opening up the first official Godzilla store in Shinjuku. And it will behold 500 Godzilla items and more, some rarities, some not. So, hearing this news, I instantly wanted to ship myself to Japan. I just could not find a big enough box with the $12 to do it. But I'm jealous, and I'm kind of, yes, jealous, I guess, would be the only way to describe how I feel, because I want to go to this Godzilla store. It kind of sucks because the online Godzilla store, we can't order anything online. They do not ship overseas at the moment.
Can you imagine if somebody moved there and shipped directly to the U.S. just for that purpose?
They would make bank. I was actually thinking about doing that, hiring a business, going over there, and they'd ship out.
Oh my God, they would make millions.
Why are we blowing this up on a podcast? This is something we talk about off air, so then we can set that up. Fuck.
So it looks like you have to do some re-editing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, go back 30 seconds. But anyways, with that said, I just want to know your guys' thoughts. Anthony, I'll start with you first. I'm sure you've heard this because I'm sure I posted it in the message chat, or someone did. When you heard this, what were your initial thoughts?
Overall, I'm just really happy that, finally Godzilla, one of my, most favorite fandoms, is finally getting the treatment he deserves. The Godzilla Hotel, now the Godzilla store. He's just finally getting up there and known and big, rather than really. It was an obscure fandom for a long time. Me and Ray, we had to wait around a long time for a movie, or we had to go out to Timbuktu to find some figure or some magazine or something. Now it's all becoming readily available. So, I'm just happy it's there. I'm just so appreciative of that, rather than, oh, damn, I can't go to Japan. Well, fuck, one day I will, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it, man. I'm really just happy in general.
Well, one day better be soon, because aren't you like 60?
That's what your mom keeps telling you, but no.
Oh, God.
I didn't know my mom knew you. Okay. Well,
Yes, I am your father.
You owe me some money. Can I have some money for gas? I agree with what you said. I am, as all of us should be. I just found it astounding that they're now. I always thought there was some sort of store in Japan already that was devoted to selling Godzilla stuff, but I guess I was mistaken. But it's to me, it's exciting because it is cool to see, an actual store dedicated to selling this merchandise. And getting Godzilla spread across out there. However, who knows? Maybe when the store launches on October 30th, they may have a way to ship overseas. It may charge you $60 shipping, but there still would be an option. And when there's a will, there's a way. So there's not really been much news spread out about it, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. I'm just interested to see what kind of stuff that they're going to sell, because it's going to probably end up on the internet somewhere at some point. You could always snag it when you get the chance. But JR, what about you? Are you excited that you can go shopping in Japan with your cat and buy Godzilla stuff?
No. The prices of SH Monster Arts and all that import bullshit, I don't want to fucking shop there. Fucking dollars on a little fucking 2-inch Godzilla keychain fucking figure. No! We need a store here, goddammit, not in fucking Japan.
And watch, but if they ended up doing a store in the United States, it'd be like in California, and you'd have to travel all the way to get it.
Listen, we actually do get a store here once a year. It's called G-Fest. Go to it.
Yeah, we're starting the G-Fest promotion early. Maybe they'll give us discounts on tickets now.
No, I think I'm still banned from it.
You quite possibly are. Well, don't worry. We'll dress you up. We'll sneak you in. What are you talking about? Yeah. Baragon. Everybody loves Baragon. Look at him.
All right. What about you? What are your thoughts dwelling on it?
To ape off of what Anthony said, we had absolutely nothing back in the days. There was like maybe 2 Godzilla figures. This tall, hard plastic one around the time G85 came out, and then like these tiny small I think they were called Big Guy. It wasn't even Godzilla, it was like called the Big Guy.
And the ones with the hands shot off them?
No, those were Shogun Warriors. That was different. That was I guess right at the beginning of our time. Right?
The figures you're talking about were called Empire figures, Ray.
The tall big one?
There was a 14-inch and a 6-inch Godzilla 85 version.
Okay, so I'm talking about a different one. This thing was big, and I still have it. It was my very first Godzilla toy. But yeah, we didn't have that. Like, you guys, not for nothing, I don't even sound like a cranky old man, but you guys are spoiled talking about NECA figures and Monster Arts figures, and we didn't have none of that shit. You kidding me? If I had the money to dole out on a Monster Art figure, so be it. I'm buying it because the articulation is insane. I would get it. I would get the NECA figures. Absolutely, I would set up there. We didn't have none of that shit, man. We had to get G.I. Joes and pretend they were monsters. You know what I'm saying? That man, today you're going to be King Kong.
No.
Cobra Command.
I kicked over the G.I. Joes and I was the monster.
Oh, there you go. And that works too. No, you know what I used to do? Straight up. You know what I used to do? Every Thanksgiving, King Kong versus Godzilla would come on. Yo, I, honest to God, take my Thundercats figures, Monkey in and Slide, and that was King Kong and Godzilla, and I made them fight. That's what we had. You guys are lucky, so shut your faces, stop complaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. God damn it, don't make me get cranky on your asses.
And now knowing with your luck, Ray, if you would have forked over all that money for Monster Arts, by accident, it would be a Shin Godzilla figure sent to you instead.
I donate that shit to charity.
Wow.
Yeah. But no, as far as the store goes, I want to go to Japan. This gives me even more reason to want to go. I want to go now. But, how much stuff could you possibly sell? Like, how much merchandise are you possibly getting out of there? Like JR said, I'm not spending $200 for a fucking keychain. Out of control. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if Japan charges parking at the mall.
So, yeah, I mean, I like the idea. It's cool. And if I ever go to Japan, which should be in like 3 years, I'm definitely going to visit it if it's still there.
Well, great. If you end up going to Japan, maybe we can all carpool. So, that's a great point. It is just like I said, just the fact that we're now in a century where there are Godzilla's more easy to acquire. I'd rather be able to look at it from afar than have it not available at all. But so moving on from that segment, just something a little short going on. October 6th, we are finally getting the Pacific Rim 2 trailer at the New York Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So I am totally stoked for Pacific Rim 2. I'm looking forward to this trailer. I'm just, we had the San Diego Comic-Con and now we have the New York Comic-Con. We didn't get really anything kaiju at the San Diego Comic-Con except the one Pacific Rim kind of promotional release video that they did. So I think Ray, you were mentioning this a while back. You were saying, watch New York Comic-Con become a big thing now for for movies, and it looks like now, New York Comic-Con is starting to become a really big, almost as big as San Diego Comic-Con. So Ray, do your thoughts still stand on that? And what's going to be your excitement going in for Pacific Rim, the trailer when it comes out?
Yeah, no, absolutely. My thoughts still stand. I think what Comic-Con in general is doing is cornering the market on getting these high-profile trailers. San Diego Comic-Con has been a staple for a decade or two now. This is where we go to see the big stuff. As far and as long as Marvel Studios has been around, San Diego Comic-Con has become like very important to the geek culture. New York City Comic-Con, again, I've said this a million times. I went to the first one. It was great. It had no trailers. It was just a comic book convention with creators. And they had panels. I sat in with McFarlane, listening to him talk, Kevin Smith, Jim Lee. It was fun. It was a comic book convention. But then for us in the kaiju genre, I think 2 years ago when they dropped, or was it last year, when they dropped the Gamera teaser that we all went crazy for and was hoping that something was going to happen, and it was nothing but a proof of concept. That could have easily been San Diego. It's closer. You know what I'm saying? It's Japan. No, but they waited to New York Comic-Con, and now with Pacific Rim, it seems like what they're going to do is set up with San Diego the movies that are coming out, let's say, throughout the rest of the year, and tease the big event movies the following year, whereas New York Comic-Con could start doing the teases for, like, Pacific Rim 2, Jurassic World 2, maybe The Predator. We get a tease for The Predator. We'll get a full-blown Pacific Rim 2 trailer, absolutely. We're going to get the first trailer. But it's very interesting to see now that they're really embracing this, the geek culture, and bringing it to New York also. Because not everybody can just go to San Diego. It's very expensive. But New York is just like Japan money, too. So I'm just saying, it's expensive either way. If you live out there, good money because you can get to go. But those lines are retarded. But yeah, I'm excited for Pacific Rim 2. I cannot wait to see it. I'm ready.
Yeah, JR, moving on to you first. I have a lot to say to that, but I'm going to just go down the panel before I get the chance. So, JR, are you awake?
I am awake.
I think he's still pissed off about the figure prices.
I'm always pissed off about that.
He's just sitting over there spewing.
No, with Pacific Rim 2, but there just hasn't been a whole lot said or shown thing. And yeah, we're finally going to get a trailer. That's cool and all, but when it first got announced that there's going to be Pacific Rim 2, and then nothing was fucking said. And then we got to see the Jaegers, and then nothing was fucking said. So I've been losing steam when it came to it, so I'm looking for it now than I was.
But you got to remember, too, one thing. and this we talked about this during the Comic-Con in July on the block party. You don't want to start shooting your load early. You gotta wait, you gotta build, because this movie's not coming out no time soon. So you don't want to start promoting something and then you forget. You could drop hints and bits here and there, but you still gotta kind of keep it close to the chest. And then when you're ready to show something, then you hit them hard. And New York City Comic Con is kind of perfect. See, I never lost interest because I know it's down the line. It's coming. I'm just anticipating.
And, I think that just goes to, with Godzilla 2, they've been tweeting pictures of the set and shit, and that's kept me excited, besides the fact that it's Godzilla 2. And with Pacific Rim, there hasn't really... That's kind of what I'm talking about, is they haven't done... And I understand, the anticipation, the wait, and like to see production photos and shit, Oh, there's a broken car. Maybe someone's going to get hit with it, that kind of shit.
Well, John Boyega, he was pretty active on his Instagram account. I don't have Twitter, but I follow people on Instagram. And he was pretty active during the filming of Pacific Rim 2, showing some of the sets, showing the costumes. The Jaegers, not so much. And the biggest thing they've been hiding so far is the kaiju. We haven't seen anything. So I'm looking forward to some redesigns, if you will. I'm looking forward to seeing some really cool shit in this trailer. But, I mean, it's out there. You just got to look for it.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. It's kind of like taking the last drag of the roach. But we got to understand, too, Pacific Rim 2 has been through some development hell. And it's been kind of unfortunate. I believe they've had to do a lot of I'm not too entirely sure, but I mean, I'm looking forward to the trailer come October 6th. I did lose kind of hype in the beginning there, but it was basically just because when they announced Pacific Rim 2, they were doing the crap load of Kong Skull Island stuff. So that's basically what took place of it. But Anthony, I mean, you always want to be in the Pacific Rim movie, I hear you say. So, so what are your thoughts on it?
Well, hey, Godzilla's number one. So if I could take that first, I will. Pacific Rim, definitely a close second.
Wait, I just want to throw this out there right now before anybody else does. If me and you get in the Pacific Rim movie, it'd be nobody better I want to drift with. Yeah. You can link it to my dreams, big boy.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That's too sexy for one Jaeger, though.
Yeah, we'll have the sexiest Jaeger of all, baby.
But unlike the two millennials on this pack, I don't lose my interest in something once, I don't see something for a while. I have patience, and if I know something's coming, I just sit back and wait. I don't need it all here and now. I know it's coming, and once it comes out, I'm sure it's going to blow us all away.
Yeah, I don't deny that.
I don't know if I should be offended by that term. I mean, it's not my fault that I have to drink Mountain Dew and take all these antidepressants all the time. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, Chase, you're a crazy person, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
No, I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate that. I think that's cool. I admire that you can just sit back and go fishing every day and just wait for something to pull the pole. But I hope it's good. The Pacific Rim 2 trailer, for one thing I've noticed is that, John Boyega's character, I'm just wondering, is he going to be the only one piloting this Jaeger, or is he going to have someone drifting with him? Because I don't see a co-pilot with them in this, and so I'm kind of interested to see what you're going to do there. But like you said, the kaiju, I'm interested to see what the kaiju are going to look like, and how different the kaiju are going to look, or if we're going to see some reoccurring kaiju or just different versions of them. That's interesting too. But But come October 6th, that is basically next week, so we don't have to wait too much longer. But so I guess moving back onto that, for the amount of waiting and the short time that we have, the Godzilla anime comes out in November, and we have not seen another trailer yet for this anime. We have not seen really anything yet for this anime other than the Bandai figures coming out. I'm just wondering, I think it was the same way for this when we were talking about Shin Godzilla. We were complaining, where's the trailer? And then 2 weeks later, they start shoving trailers down our throats in TV spots. But I'm just honestly wondering, we're getting into October now, comes out I think mid-November, early mid-November, but we haven't seen anything else from it. You're going down the panel, Anthony, do you think this is the only trailer we're going to get? This is all we're going to need for it? Or do you think we're going to be seeing something else once it starts heading out?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they're going to do exactly that, Shin Godzilla style, where right before it comes out, you're going to get hit hard with all these trailers. And I think for in a Godzilla situation, it just works better for them as a business. And I might have to agree with that. Godzilla is still not on, the one Hollywood American budget type thing. So they want to keep the excitement within the realm of it actually coming out.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, G1, what about you?
To be honest with you, I really don't care if we get another trailer for this. I'm already sold. With Shin Godzilla, it was different because it was the first Toho Godzilla movie in a very long time. So my anticipation levels were through the roof for that. And we all know how that turned out for me personally. With the just crying every week I need a trailer, to finally getting to see the movie, to being relatively disappointed. But with this movie, because I'm going to say one thing. I believe this movie is going to focus more on the humans than anything. Godzilla, of course, is going to be in it. But I do not think you're going to get Godzilla action the way you think you are. This is the trailer sets up. It feels like it's a human drama above all else. And
Robotech style.
Pretty much, exactly. And if you know your anime tropes, you know that's pretty much what they do. That's it, and Godzilla's just in the background as, well, we got to fight it. But I honestly don't believe we're gonna get that much Godzilla in this movie. Maybe the next one, because they did tout this as a trilogy, right? So
that's their hope.
That's the hope. So personally, I don't need another trailer. I don't. If we do get one, awesome. But for me, I was very content with what we got. I like the little setup, even though I don't understand most of what they're saying. But I'm okay with it. I know it's coming, and it's coming sooner than Pacific Rim is coming. So I'm all right with it. I'm all good with no more trailers.
That's true. JR, what about you, man?
Yeah.
Do you think we need to see more, or are you just...
I'm fine. I don't really need to see more Potzilla. I'm pretty content.
Don't talk about Biollante like that.
It's Oscar the Grouch.
Kind of does look like that. It really does.
Groot.
No,
It's Groot.
I'm kind of, I kind of have that fear that this Godzilla basically is just going to be a background scenery. I kind of expect that at this point, but I'm going to be disappointed, honestly, if that's the case. We've already had 2 things in a row now where Godzilla basically just walks around and does nothing.
Yep. Shin Godzilla and Shin Chan versus Shin Godzilla. Yep.
So, I'm just going to be disappointed. I kind of feel like Toho is kind of holding back on their Godzilla recently, if that's going to be the case. And that's one of the things that's been kind of on my mind is this Godzilla going to fight some sort of nemesis other than the humans, or is there going to be a monster that he goes against? Because this anime is supposed to have tons and tons of monsters in it, as Toho is saying. And if Godzilla doesn't pinch one of them, I'm going to be very disappointed. I mean, it's going to be like, what's the point of having them other than a nostalgia factor? I personally would like to see one more trailer before we get it out. I want to know basically more of what I'm getting. That trailer that was put out didn't really sit with me as I wanted it to. It was interesting, but with everything that's kind of coming out now with it, I think it needs a little bit of a clarification and a little bit more of a tease to kind of grab more of my attention. But if it comes out, when November hits and we haven't gotten anything, I mean, I'm still going to watch it on Netflix when it gets the chance. I'm still saving my trial on Netflix for it. So, I'm looking forward to it, but I just would like to see, something else more, but I'm skeptical, this anime, I don't watch anime as it is. So this is going to be kind of breaking out of my shell when I'm watching it. So I'm interested to see what we're going to see, and what this Godzilla basically is going to be about. And if we get more to this trilogy, if they end up doing a trilogy with it, is Godzilla still just going to be the same thing come the last episode, of the trilogy, and he just still does nothing but just walk around and gets in the way of shit, That's my biggest fear. I think Toho, in my opinion, needs to be a little more creative. But we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. But wrapping up basically the news of all of this, so Godzilla 2 has finished its production. I mean, it's filming, and they are going now in post-production. And prior to that, Mike Doherty teased us with an image, a CGI test-rendered image posted on this screen, basically for the actors to get a glimpse of Godzilla so they can act in this segment, basically to get an idea of what Godzilla is going to look like, which I thought was really cool. I thought was really smart. It was a great idea, but the problem that I was seeing that was very, very hilarious, I was laughing my ass off reading these comments. There were people that were upset on the internet.
What's new?
Always, but they exactly what people upset about Godzilla. There were people just going senile over this image of Godzilla, and it was just hilarious. People were saying, "Oh my God, this Godzilla looks so much different than 2014." That was the funniest one. That made me laugh my ass off. This image, they were like, "Oh, this Godzilla has tons of details that are changed now." These comments were made on Twitter. These comments were made on Instagram. And I just thought it was hilarious. But the things that were pissing me off were the people that were upset about it, saying that this Godzilla doesn't look different than 2014. They were like ashamed and upset and disappointed. And I'm just like, what made me frustrated was that there were people out there that actually believed that this design was going to be completely different than 2014's design. I'm in my head and I'm like, are these guys just morons?
Yes.
And I know some people, I know that, well, one guy got upset with me for using the word moron. He would rather me use the word misinformed, which I think is a load of bull. I just think I honestly think people need to kind of use a little bit more common sense here on this idea. This Godzilla design,
moron is appropriate.
Yeah, moron is more than appropriate. I got pissed off. I mean, I just couldn't believe that these people were upset over this little pre-rendered CGI image of Godzilla. For one, that's not finished. They were like upset that it looked like 2014. You know, for one, going through it, you know, this is a sequel to a movie we already have established. And they're thinking that what, you know, and I knew this was going to happen when Mike Doherty came out and said and answered that one person that asked the question if Godzilla's going to change at all. And he said, you know, evolution. He's evolution in the flesh, right? I knew at that point people were going to get their expectations and hype pushed up to the front end of it, to where they get too emotionally embedded in it and get their hypes up and their expectations overwhelmingly high. It just, I don't know, for some reason I'm kind of surprised that I'm surprised and upset about it, but in a way it's kind of like I was hoping that people would be smarter than that.
Yeah,
You know, I know,
Yeah.
especially in the Godzilla fandom, you know, you can't ever hope that, you know, because we all know there's a bunch of idiots in this Godzilla fandom. You know, I guess as any fandom there would be, but, you know, I'm just, you know, my thoughts on it, and I'm going to ask all of you guys your thoughts too, but my thoughts on it were like, you know, why do people think this way? You know, why do people actually come out and think that this you know, there's something that's a consistent sequel to itself, they're going to have something different from the first one? You know, like, why do people think that way? How do they think that way? You know, and going down, you know, I want to start with you first, Ray. I mean, hearing this, and I know you were kind of skeptical about the thing I posted to the messenger. I think at first you were asking me, what is this exactly? You thought it was something for the anime. I don't know if you were joking or not, but, you know, prior to hearing this, you know, what are your thoughts on the matter of people being this way?
Oh, the internet's giving everybody a soapbox to stand on and a microphone or a keyboard in this case, and they can do whatever they want and say whatever they want without the fear of getting punched in the face. That's the bottom line. That really is the bottom line. Like, honestly, outside of my voice, if I go and I create another Facebook account and y'all don't know about it, and I like start trolling y'all and just saying stupid shit, you never know it's me. You know? Anybody can do that. And that's the fact. The internet has given people more courage than like 264 ounces of alcohol hard straight to the face. Like, seriously. Guys and girls, unicorns and ponies, they all grow a sack now. Because they type away on the keyboard and they talk. They puff their chest out and they talk. None of that bothers me. I'm not mad at the person who doesn't like the way it looks or who felt they were misinformed as they wanted you to say. None of that affects the movie. Like, if I was Mike Doherty, and I'm sure this is his mindset, and I'm sure this is pretty much every filmmaker's mindset or creator. Their mindset is, this is my vision, I'm going forward with it, and that's the bottom line. There's going to be things some people like, and there's going to be things some people don't like. But the fact of the matter is, we have a property here that is 63 years old now? Is it going to be 64 this year? A 60-plus year-old franchise from another country that we have license for. And it's working. I don't care what anybody says about 2014, whether you loved it or you hate it. Guess what? We're getting a sequel. Why? Because it worked. Where was the sequel for 1998? You know, they set it up. They absolutely set it up. They didn't set up a sequel for G14. There was no setup there. Godzilla just goes back in the water and swims away. That's it. End of story. End of story. Okay? But it worked on some level. So now we get in a sequel. And people are going to bitch and complain about it. I bitched and complained about Shin Godzilla. I still do. I can't wait for Toho to do another live-action movie to wash that taste out of my mouth. But that's what it is. Everybody's a keyboard killer. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, you can't blame anybody in particular. You got to blame the internet because it's given them that soapbox. And honestly, I really did think that was from the anime. When I saw that picture the first time, I was at work and I'm outside, so the glare, I didn't know what it was. I thought maybe it was because it looked rendered. So I thought it was like them inside of their ship looking at Godzilla as he is now on Earth.
No, I get you.
But outside of the image and the changing of Godzilla, of course, I mean, it's not drastic. It still looks like 2014. I didn't see anything different. He looked like he was stuck in ice, which would be cool. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't mad at that picture. I don't know why people get their panties in a
Let's not
bunch.
even get on that speculation because we already know King Ghidorah is supposedly supposed to be an Ice Cube too. I like that term, keyboard killer. It sounds like a new like hipster rap artist. That's how.
I didn't make that up though. I stole that from like somewhere.
You know, and you know, and it's and I'm gonna go more further into it, but you know, but yeah, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with everything going on, but I'm just like, I just have to vent sometimes. I mean, just the fact that people are this way and they just it's kind of like you just want to slip Drano into orange juice. But you know, JR, do you have anything to say to these misinformed people?
Yeah, just because you don't think it's Godzilla because Toho didn't do it doesn't mean it's not Godzilla. It's Godzilla, whether you like it or not. And the appearance shit, like, okayed it. Toho's okay with it. For a matter of fact, you know, they sell in Japan. Toho approves of 2014 figures and merchandise, so they must like it. But it's just even when I first seen it, I was like, oh, that's definitely pre-rendered. Like, that's not all the way finished. And people see them complaining that, oh my god, why is he blue? Is that the color he's going to be? Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? What is wrong with you? Go away. Get it. I looked at it and I was like, yeah, that's pre-rendered. That's definitely not finished.
Not for nothing. Not only that.
Screen.
Not only that, but where the hell is the rest of his body? I mean, come on, people. Really? Like, it's just like a floating fucking head. Jesus.
Or my favorite one, gosh, why does Godzilla look more fatter? Oh, God.
Well, and it's clearly there to help the actors, you know. It's there as quote-unquote props, so they have something to work with, but it's pre-rendered because it's not finished. I mean, it astounds me that people... It just shows ignorance. On a side note, if you look in the helicopter window in that picture, you could see lightning, gravity beams. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something of that, and then one of our friends on Facebook, he was like, you could see silhouettes of 3 heads on the window, and I looked, and I couldn't find much, and but if anything, the lightning beams are there if you want to go really imaginative with it. But
Well, it's like when you look on the ceiling with stucco, that popcorn ceiling stuff. You can see whatever the fuck you want sometimes.
It's so true.
Well, especially if you sniff too many markers that day too. But Anthony, I know you have some say to this. We need to make a GVA meme, but what do you have to say to these people?
You know, there's going to be ignorance in every fandom, you know, and of course, the ignorance, you know, bothered me so much that was the direction I went with GVA to, you know, insult their ignorance most of the time, and they didn't even get it. That's how ignorant they were.
Facts.
It's kind of like you give them an insultive compliment, and they just take it as a compliment.
But yeah, I mean, if you've been a Godzilla fan for, I don't know, a couple of years at least, you would know that every different Godzilla movie you see, he's changed. With the small exception of between 68 and 72, that suit was changed the least. But Godzilla has changed in every fucking movie that he's come out with, regardless if it was a direct sequel or not. So that's a constant. You know, you're gonna, you know, just have to put up with it. Sorry, it's not the 2014 you fell in love with, but oh fucking well, that's life.
Well, which you led into the great point. You know, there's this there was this guy talking to me about some of the details he would like to see on the Godzilla in the sequel, and just are there any I don't know if we've really talked about this, but are there any specific details you guys do want to see changed on this Godzilla design? I'm gonna go from Anthony to. Are there any design changes that you would like to see?
It's too early to tell. That pick just wasn't enough right now. I'm not one of those people who has to just input right away. As soon as I see something, I like I said earlier, I just sit back and wait, and I can make my opinions when it's fully done.
Okay. Well, what about you, JR? Is there anything that you would want to see changed or any minor details changed on 2014 at all?
Honestly, no. I really love the design, and I mean, I guess a more powerful atomic beam, but at the same time, I understood it. The heat blast, that's why it kind of has that liquid look. But besides that, no, I really dig the design. I love that design.
Okay. Ray, I'm pretty sure there's probably nothing you would want to see changed. Is there anything you want to see changed?
No, there's a couple of things I think that they could do to make it I can't even say that damn word. But
complicated?
No.
Comparable
or complementary to the vast majority. Like, let's be for real. When it first came out, everybody, it's so fat. I'm like, no, it's like that's a mountain. That is a mountain, and I love that idea. But to be fair, play fair, what I would probably do is that Godzilla already kind of like walked with a little lurch, like a little hunch. So what I would do to make people more satisfied, I would probably streamline him a bit more underneath. You know what I mean? So have that hunch a little bit more profound. His arms are pretty cool. I might shrink them a bit to give the Shinji lovers a little bit of a Shinji flavor. Just a bit though, not crazy. I'm not completely changing the arm design. Just bring it in a bit. The legs, I would probably define a bit more. I would probably define the legs a bit more, give it a more of a musculature look to it, curve appeal, and give it the hunch a little bit more profound look. The tail, like, not for nothing. One of the things I just realized, like, with the exception of him killing the male Muto, Godzilla's tail really wasn't in play. I would make it a little bit, and pardon here, pause. I would make the tail a little more erect. If you guys get my drift, right?
Give him a little bit more of the blue pill.
Yeah, just a little bit. Godzilla's an ancient being, so he's been around for a long time, right? So maybe. And then I would change.
So half of the blue pill.
Just a half. And then I'll probably change his spikes a bit. I like the spikes. I really did dig them. But again, to please everybody, just try to please everybody. I would probably bring the spikes out more to the sides. So, like, instead of the dorsal fins we're used to, he would have the spikes come out. Thick spiky horns on near the shoulders, and
where they're kind of angled out.
Yeah. And then, like I said, and then the face is cool. I would probably pronounce the snout a little bit more, make him look a little more iguana almost. And his feet, I would space the toes out, and then we could get that 1998 design. Everybody would be happy. Everybody. I'm only fucking kidding. I would really. The only thing I would probably change on the legendary Godzilla, even though it's not like made a big point, I don't care about the gills. I really didn't care for them. I was like, I could deal without that, and maybe fix the feet. I saw a picture. I don't know if it was just good fan design or what, but I saw a picture of Godzilla's feet, the legendary Godzilla's feet, that could actually work. It looks functional. And it's not like the pronounced toes that Godzilla normally has, but it still had that G14 flavor, but just a little bit more defined. And I was like, I could dig that. He looks more like a dinosaur than an elephant now, and I could rock with that. But outside of like those two things, I love that design. It's one of my favorite Godzilla designs, and I, agree with JR and I agree with Anthony. Godzilla does change in every one. It's, with the exception of the Hesai, if there was any change between Mecha Godzilla and Space Godzilla, it's very, very minor. Like, I can't see it. That suit relatively stayed the same, but the Showa series, that change is there. The Millennium series, that change is there. It's pronounced. Does it have to be drastic? No, not at all. But a tweak here and there, absolutely. Give Godzilla ears. I dig it.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, I'm kind of the same way. The minor changes I would like to see, I would make his spikes a little bit longer, just a little bit. And I would construct his feet a little bit differently. I don't have a problem with the stumpy feet, but like I would like to see his toes not look kind of like, I guess, deformed. They look conjoined. I would like to see them kind of spread out a little bit more. But other than that, and I would maybe animate his tail a little bit more. Maybe as he's walking, his tail's moving more, but not like Shin Godzilla's where it's just floating in the back, but like where it's kind of like just.
Well, technically that tail had a mind of its own. You know what I'm saying? Like that, literally.
That thing was controlling Godzilla.
Yeah.
That one had three blue pills on it.
Oh shit. Oh man.
It had the blue pills and the male enhancement medication.
God.
Yeah, but so just minor details, and there's a lot of people that are like, well, hopefully they add the scars to him and everything like that, and I don't think they're going to add the scars to Godzilla. I don't think they're going to show battle damage for some reason. For one reason, I just think it's kind of a missable detail. It's not something that's going to be important. It's not like Jurassic World where they put the scars on the T-Rex, Rexy, because that was for an.
Uh-oh. Chase, you there?
I don't think they're going to do that necessarily with Godzilla. I know there's a lot of people that want a detail like that. I would like, I guess, to see something like that, but I'm not going to be rolling over in my grave if they don't. But other than that, that's basically pretty much what's been going on this month. This month has been kind of Godzilla drought, just minor things here and there. But now that Godzilla 2 has finished filming, now we have, the next couple of months, and hopefully San Diego Comic-Con, we will see, the trailer for it, because then it'll be coming out in March of 2019, and that's wow. We're already at the end of 2017.
Let me just add on to what you're saying there about the scars. There's only been one Godzilla with scars, and that's Tokyo SOS. Pretty much the constant is that Godzilla's healing factor, always, seems to smooth him back up to original form. Because even in Smog Monster, he was getting deformed. He was getting, acid shit on and all that shit. And by the next movie, gone. You know what I mean? So Godzilla's not known to be a scarred creature.
Yeah, and which is kind of funny because of the way they made his scales look charred and everything like that, which is kind of funny. But even when in Smog Monster, when he gets shot in the eyeball and his eyes full functioning in the second one too.
Right. Exactly.
No, and I like that point. I want them to, I really, really hope that in the sequel they will address that this Godzilla has miraculous healing factors. That would be cool. There's a lot of things, I would love to see this Godzilla do. I'm really hoping Mike Dougherty gives in and does the atomic pulse. I want to see something like that. I want to see Godzilla use more of his utility belt. So, but yeah, not too much more going on, we basically have till next summer now to basically see, and in between there, I'm sure we're going to be seeing leaks. We're going to be seeing concept stuff. We're going to be seeing things for Godzilla 2 around the corner. So we got stuff to hype us, to hold us over, and that's going to be coming sooner than we know it. Are there any final thoughts? Any last things you guys want to say? Anthony, you have anything else you want to say before we wrap this all up?
I wish a lot of stupid people would just shut the hell up a little bit. Just a little, not a lot. If you don't know something, just shut your fucking mouth and find out.
Gosh, if it was that easy, I mean, gosh. That's how I am, man. If I don't know anything, I'll either try to find out, educate myself, or just shut up about it, or just move on.
Or just ask instead of making a fucking complete ass of yourself and directly comment on something you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh my gosh. JR, anything you got to say, man?
Yeah, the guy that's directing Kong vs. Godzilla, let's get rid of him now. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, is that because of Death Note?
Oh, wah.
No, I haven't seen Death Note yet.
Okay. You just don't like him?
Huh?
You just don't like him?
No,
what's your beef with Adam Wingard?
Blair Witch was all right. It's just some of the interviews he does say it's still, it's up in the air. We're still writing it, but I just think he might be a little too inexperienced because he did Blair Witch and a crappy Netflix spinoff that everyone hates that I'm sure I won't give a shit about. I don't think Godzilla 3 should really have him as a director. That's why I was like Michael Dorn.
Yeah, but Gareth was on that same path where he didn't have a lot of experience and he killed it.
He didn't have zero. He just did Monsters. That was it. Godzilla was his second movie, and it was a fucking full-blown budget movie. Like, here, make this movie. And from that, he gets Star Wars. Think about that. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows? It could be the best out of the fucking Godzilla trilogy. But as it sits right now, I'm just kind of skeptical on it. And the guy directing Godzilla 2, I like Trick or Treat. Krampus is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great movie. I'm really excited. I guess I'll end it on that. I'm really excited to see how dark Godzilla 2 will be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not to cut Ray off, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think Godzilla 2. I mean, I don't think Godzilla 2 is going to be as dark as Krampus, but I do expect King Ghidorah to be the devil in the film. I do expect some gritty tone, but I mean, it sounds pretty much like it's going to be a just straight up fun action film. That's what's been kind of the look of it. But I'm interested to see too. I just know Mike Doherty. He does a lot of he does bizarre things, and he can do a little bit of creepy eeriness. So I'm interested to see what's going to go on. But I'm also a little bit excited to see what they're going to do with Kong, because that's going to be interesting too. But Adam Wingard, I don't know much about Adam Wingard, and yeah, I'm a little bit, I'm not too thrilled that his Death Note Netflix thing didn't do well, because now when he gets signed on when they actually start doing more for Godzilla 3, I think it's going to give him a little bit of backlash. It's gonna definitely probably hurt Godzilla 3 a little bit. I'm a little bit worried about that, but I'm not too worried. But I mean, yeah, he wouldn't be my first choice to direct the third movie. I kind of feel like when you have a director, they need to fulfill the whole entire series, not just this director. I mean, but I would like to see Mike Doherty come back, and if there ever is that chance, I would like to see him do Godzilla 3. But that's just that's not going to happen with Adam Wingard being on the call for it. But I'm not too worried about it. There's nothing to really worry about. I gotta wait. We gotta wait. 3 more years for it, so I'm not going to be too upset. But Ray, any last words for you?
Yeah, y'all so spoiled. I swear to God, y'all so spoiled. It drives me up a fucking wall. Like, I'm sitting here listening to y'all complain about Adam Wingard. Like, back in our days, you know what we did when we watched the fucking Godzilla movie? We fucking watched it. That's what we did, and we loved it. You guys are complaining about shit. I didn't know any of the filmography from any of the Toho directors. Okay? It wasn't until GMK I was like, wait, what? This dude Kaneko from Gamera is making a Godzilla movie? Rock on. But y'all dudes need to bring it down 25 levels and just go in, because I don't know who Adam Wingard is. I don't know who Mike Doherty is. I seen Krampus. I enjoyed Krampus. Do I think I'm going to get Krampus with Godzilla? Absolutely not. But anything's possible. I seen Monsters. I didn't like Monsters. But I was like, you know what? This kid got a vision. What'd he do? Knocked out the park. I don't give a fuck about who's directing what. All right? When it comes to Godzilla, Godzilla is supposed to do one thing. One thing. Fuck shit up and blow shit up and roar, okay? And he's done that.
He's not supposed to have a compelling plot and a demeanor message to him?
Who gives a shit about that?
That is a compelling plot and demeaning message.
Who cares about any of that shit? It's because of you crazy-ass kids give Godzilla a goddamn bad name to generations like myself and Anthony, where we had to survive on nothing. Nothing.
Walk backwards through snow, 30 miles.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, G-Show, we gotta go.
Godzilla's coming on TV. You go through the TV guide every week. The TV guide, you don't even know what a TV guide is. You guys put the guide on your television, on your remote control. Get the fuck out of it. We didn't have that shit. It was a motherfucking TV guide. It was paper. It was a book. You open it up, and you go to Saturday or Sunday, and you go to Channel 5 or Channel 11 or Channel 9. And say, oh, shit, Godzilla coming on this weekend. And you watched it. You didn't send your DVR recorders. You didn't send none of that. You sat there and watched it.
Flip into the channels one by one.
That's right. You had to stand next to the television and turn the damn knob. There was no remote controls. What the fuck was an HBO? Get out of here with that shit. You kids are spoiled.
It's definitely time for your nap.
Yeah, for real.
Old man. No, I mean, it come down to the core of it. We're here just for one thing. We're here for Godzilla. But, I mean, of course, we're all going to have our own personal wants and wishes with it. But in the end of the day, we're here for the big man. We're here for the G-man. So, that's really it, guys. With my final words, for my final words, I hope in the next couple of months we see more, more stuff. It's going to be kind of dry for Godzilla stuff for a while, but I'm interested to see what's going on, and hopefully we get something.
Just spit on it.
Oh boy!
Just spit on it.
God. Train tracks.
I think
derail.
In this case we might just need lube, but
definitely derail.
Anyways, we're getting too wild out of this as we usually do. But anyways, guys, I am G73, aka Megalon or Chase, however you may want to address me. Thank you guys all for joining, and G1, thanks for letting me host again. I have fun doing this.
Absolutely.
And we will see you guys next time on the G Show. You guys all take care.